These are like the Hermes Birkins of sandals. Like you have to have a good relationship with your sales associates to score one of these beauties because they are the hottest summer sandals on the scene. Hermes themselves have acknowledged this very recently on an Instagram post. They called this one of their flagship items. Yes, it is now an icon, it is a staple. I'm talking about none other than the Hermes Chypre sandals. Everyone is talking about them. Everyone is loving them. In this video, I'm going to be talking about why people are so in love with these pair of sandals. And I'm also going to keep it real. I'm going to be sharing some of the less favorable characteristics that people have been revealing about these sandals since they've owned them. And of course, I have some alternatives for you, items that are similar to these Hermes Chypre sandals, but are more accessible on the grounds of affordability and availability. Let's get right into it. I'm going to start with a pro, a positive, and that is how easy they are to style. Women are loving these shoes because they're easy to style. Yes, they're super casual and they give off a little bit of a masculine vibe. So much so that when I first saw them in 2022, I immediately overlooked them because I thought they would never work in my wardrobe. However, these beautiful women across the world have been styling these pair of sandals to the gods. I'm telling you, they have managed to make every single casual outfit I've seen a woman put on look good. And I'm starting to get convinced that I could definitely pull off these shoes. I've seen them with those straight legged utilitarian baggy jeans. I'm seeing them with slip dresses, silk and satin type skirts. They just look amazing. They are one of those items of fashion that you throw on that literally makes the look. And that is why everyone is just eating up these shoes because they're so easy to style. And they are definitely going to be the hottest thing for this summer. I can already envision a million photos from those European vacations. People are going to be wearing this. You're going to be seeing the girlies on the road doing their errands. This is going to be the hottest summer sandals. Another reason why people love these and why people are enjoying the hunt for these, why they're the next Hermes Birkins, is because they come in so many different varieties. They do have a men's and women's version of these shoes. They come in different materials such as calf skin, goat skin, wool skin, Epsom leather, and there's also shearling, which a lot of people love. And of course, my favorite thing about any fashion item is when they come in a variety of colors. And these colors are so beautiful. If you are along the lines of basic, boring, and just classic looking colors, there are several of those available. And if you are looking for colors that go well with your wardrobe, or you're looking for colors just to brighten up your life, they definitely have those available. Now, this one might be considered a pro or a con for you. For me, I consider it to be a pro. This to me is a good reason to purchase Hermes sandals, and that is they are super trendy. Yes, I know a lot of people often use this as a con when it comes to designer fashion. We are dissuaded from purchasing items that are thought to be only for a season or they're gonna go out of style. But when it comes to these masculine dad type sandals, every year we hear the same thing: these are trendy, these are trendy. Yet when we go into another year, we see that there's at least one version of this that's blowing up the place. And I think they're considered trendy because they only really make sense in the summer months. These aren't the best things to be worn in cold winter months. However, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that people actually love wearing trendy items. We love participating in trends of fashion. It's what makes fashion fun. And when it comes to these Hermes Chypre sandals, much like the Oran sandals, they're pretty understated. They're not very distinctive. They're not set in a particular time. So each year, I can definitely see this coming back and being a worthy pair of sandals to put on your feet for summer. And as I said, Hermes already denoted that this is now a flagship item. This is on the Rasta. They're going to be making this every year. They are going to be giving us those different varieties that we're looking forward to. So I actually think it's worth the investment, even though it's considered trendy. The next thing I hear a lot of people talk about when it comes to these Chypre sandals is how comfortable it is. Some people have actually mentioned that they found it to be a very uncomfortable pair of sandals. However, the resounding or the overwhelming consensus is that it is one of the most comfortable pair of designer shoes that you could actually get right now. And based on what I've been getting from a lot of the reviews that I've seen, the comfort level depends on the materials that the shoes are made out of and the sizing. So, straight out the gate, a lot of people admit that the shearling version of these shoes are super comfortable. They are the most comfortable versions of the Hermes Chypre sandals. However, where it gets really tricky is the leathers. So, the calfskin, I believe, is considered the most uncomfortable of them all. And the particular portion of it that is uncomfortable to people is this little section right here. They have repeatedly noted that this literally rubs on the top of your foot and causes blistering. Now, I think that has to do with sizing. So, in the leather versions, it is best to size half a size up based on what I'm seeing. But in the shearling, you could definitely go true to size. People also complain about experiencing pain around the heels and under the toes, and that is definitely due to sizing. Now, the shoes has grooves, so your feet essentially should fit into the groove. I think with any good leather shoes, you really have to break into the shoes. That's just historically a thing. So you are expected to wear the shoes to such an extent that it molds to the shape of your feet, in a sense, so that your feet fit into the grooves that are there. If the shoes are too big, then your feet are going to be sliding around all over the place, and that's when you're going to get that irritation on the top of your foot. And if they're too small, then your toes are going to be hanging off, and that elevation there is going to be pressing underneath your toes as well as the back of your heels. So I think that really has to do with sizing. So if you can, definitely go into store and try it. If you can, it is hard to get into. Or just size a half size up. If you have normal or wide feet, just definitely go up. Another one that's a toss up between a pro and a con is definitely the price. Now, if you're just thinking about shoes in general, clearly, as a designer item, it is way too pricey. These run anywhere from $710 to $1,025 full retail in store. They are definitely marked up on the resale market. I have seen as much as $600 more. But in the context of luxury designer fashion items, I am going to say this all the time whenever I mention Hermes shoes. I think they are the absolute best value for money designer shoes because Hermes does not skimp on the craftsmanship of any item. We're thinking of other brands like Chanel, who has their famous dad sandals that start at like $1,200, and they're not even close in craftsmanship to this. Definitely value for money. And if they're so versatile and you get one that's super comfortable, then you're going to wear the crap out of that and you're going to get your return on your investment in no time. Another pro is that they're pretty hard wearing. If you do wear these every single day for the summer, you are going to get your money's worth out of it because these Hermes leather sandals definitely keep up. However, some people have mentioned that the shearling version, the back part where your heel goes on, it tends to rub off very easily. I've seen someone do a review and she noted she wore it for like 5 days straight and that pretty much went away. But I think in general, the overwhelming consensus on this is that they are definitely hard wearing. And now I'm going to wrap this part up with two cons. Clearly, they are very masculine looking shoes. If that is not your vibe, if you're definitely on the elegant, more feminine, super girly, flirty style, then this is not going to fit well into your wardrobe. It might not be worth it for you to invest in. The last con I would say is that it is very elusive. That is why I call it the Hermes Birkin of shoes. These shoes are very hard to get. From 2022, a lot of people were trying to get these shoes, and you basically either have to wait on one of those Hermes drops on the website, which happens at some ungodly hours, or you have to have a really good sales associate who is willing to put you onto something that you want. Or if you walk into store, you got to walk in there with your information. You got to know what you want. You got to express what you want so that they can give it to you. A month ago, I saw a lot of these on display in my local Hermes store. I didn't think too much of it, but now that I'm interested, I literally went back yesterday and could I even get into the store? The store was filled and there was none on display. And when I did happen to text my sales associate and ask what was up, she asked me so many questions. I was like, oh my God, I'm clearly not ready for this. So you have to get ready for these sandals because they're going like hotcakes. You got to know what you want. And when it's offered to you, you better take it. Clearly, I understand that not everybody is going to want to go through all of that. but you do want a trendy, popular dad sandals because you know that this is essentially a summer staple. So I'm going to wrap this video up by giving you some alternatives to this very popular and loved Hermes Chypre sandals. These are designer and non-designer options, and I'm going to end with the most popular dupe on the market. The Chanel dad sandals have been on the scene since the Lord knows when. It is not my jam. It looks a little bit too geriatric for me, but a lot of people love these, and if you're into them, I would definitely say get them. Also similar to the Chanel dad sandals are these Gucci mesh sandals and this Philip Lim chunky mesh sandal. You can never fail with a pair of good old Birkenstocks. They are under $200. They have been around since the beginning of time. They're the original dad sandals. Okay, these are worth every penny of investment. Once you get you a pair that you like, have them for life. My favorite pair of chunky dad sandals right now, other than the Hermes Chypre sandals, are these Dior Direct sandals. And they are like a perfect marriage between the Chanel dad sandals and the Hermes Chypre. There are some beautiful variations of colors available, and people have also noted that they are relatively comfortable, similar to the Hermes Chypre. Very similar to these also are these ones by Prada, these ones by Tory Burch, and these ones by Versace Jeans Couture. Chloe also has these pairs that are very similar but at the same time unique and set apart. And if you're really going for a different vibe but still on trend, I would consider them. And finally, the Maven from Steve Madden. These are under $90, and I do not know how they got away with making these pair of sandals, but these are the most literal dupes of the Hermes Chypre sandals, and they are going to be everywhere. Other than the craftsmanship and the Steve Madden names etched on the soles and a few missing grooves, you could pretty much not tell the difference between these and the Hermes Chypre sandals. And many people who have the Chypre sandals, who've complained that they're uncomfortable, have noted that these pair from Steve Madden's are actually extremely comfortable. And if you love the Hermes Chypre sandals and you have no interest in paying $800-900 for a pair of shoes, but you definitely do want to have these very comfortable, very versatile shoes in your collection, definitely consider these Maven shoes by Steve Madden. That's it, you guys. I hope you have enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it. Consider subscribing to my channel, like this video if you've liked it, and interact with me in the comments. Do you own the Hermes Chypre sandals? How did you score them? Are there any things that you don't like about these shoes? Are you interested in any of the alternatives that I've presented, or do you have any alternatives that I haven't mentioned that you would like us to know about? Until my next video, stay fashionably well and in good health.